Hello, thank you for joining with me for the commentary of the Course Companions. This is by Robert Perry, Day 170, Section 5, The Two Emotions. The statement, "You have but two emotions," runs like a refrain throughout this section, so it's important to understand the intent of it. It is not meant to deny the presence of other emotions, either on the positive side, such as joy, peace, and gratitude, or on the negative side, such as anger, hate, and guilt. The real intent of it, as I understand it, is to say that all positive emotions come together in love, are a part of love, aspects of love, and that in the end all negative emotions amount to fear. It definitely does not mean that other negative emotions are caused by fear, e.g., we only attack because we are afraid. Rather, cause and effect goes the other way. All negative emotions, no matter how strong and powerful they seem, just end up resulting in fear. For instance, anger may seem like an empowering emotion, but the seemingly vigorous and self-affirming stream of anger just ends up flowing right into the stagnant pool of fear. What appeared to be an emotion of strength became, in the end, an emotion of weakness. We tend to think of our choice as this: do we want to align ourselves with the meekness and weakness of love, or with the strength and affirmation of anger and judgment? But Jesus' teaching here implies that our choice is very different. Do we want to live in love or live in fear? That is something we should ask ourselves every day. When I think of this section, I always think of how I used to see insanity in the Course. Jesus in the Course constantly tells us we are insane, but surely he means this in a way other than normal. He means that however sane we are in the normal sense, we are insane in the metaphysical sense. We have had a psychotic break with the transcendental reality. That's very different than saying we've had a break with this reality, with this world. Surely, I assumed, on this level, we are more or less sane. That assumption is blown out of the water by this section. The picture that Jesus paints here is that we have had a psychotic break with this reality. See if he does not persuade you by the time he is done. The essence of insanity is that you have withdrawn into your own private world, which is disconnected from the world around you. And have you done that? The center of Jesus' picture is shadow figures. In fact, this section is the Course's main discussion of shadow figures. The idea is that we form mental images of the people who we feel hurt us in the past. These images already have a touch of insanity to them, in that we are seeing these people from a very private vantage point. But the figures that he sees were never real, for they are made up only of his reactions to his brothers, and do not include their reactions to him. Isn't that true of our images of the people who seem to hurt us? Isn't our picture of these people composed entirely of our own emotional reactions to them? And I can certainly see that, and could see it when I was reading the text. What about their emotional reactions to us? Which I can't say, but it would seem, right? We then take these one-sided and private and therefore insane images of these people and carry them around with us. But we don't just carry these shadow figures in memory. We look for people who remind us of our shadow figures, and then we project those figures onto them. We then outwardly carry on a relationship with these people, while psychologically relating with our shadow figures. Thus, when we talk to our wife, we're really talking to Mother, to pick one possibility out of many. And when our wife responds, we are hearing Mother scold us once again. And then we attack our wife, but we are actually attacking someone who is not there. No one else sees Mother in front of us. No one else hears her talk to us. They hear what we say to her, but they don't hear what she says to us. Only we hear that. That is not metaphysical insanity. This is insanity in the normal sense. We are living in our own private world that is disconnected from the actual world around us. That is the very definition of insanity. As you look with open eyes upon your world, As you look with open eyes upon your world, it must occur to you that you have withdrawn into insanity, for you see what is not there and hear what is soundless. Can we admit to being insane? What does this have to do with fear? The answer is obvious. If we mentally see ourselves surrounded by one-sided caricatures of all the people who mistreated us, how can we not live in fear? They say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, but this is taking it too far. Oddly, in our insanity, we have mixed up fear and love. For love is a drawing toward, but we have drawn toward ourselves these figures of fear who poke us with their pitchforks, and thus constantly provoke us in more fear. Love and fear are opposites, yet we are in love with fear. How crazy is that? If we can face the fact that we are insane, the shock of that can be a wake-up call. We can say to ourselves, something has got to change. And it can change. It is given you to learn how to deny insanity and come forth from your private world in peace. We can emerge from our private world and at last step into the real world. In this world, and all the masks we have superimposed on the people around us will be gone, and we will see them for who they really are. Rather than drawing to us figures of fear, the love in us will draw to us the love that's in our brothers. We will not only live in a world of love, but we will help our brothers emerge from their nightmare of fear, and we will draw from them their private worlds. This may sound too good to be true, as if this means living in some hazy fantasy of love. But this, at last, is sanity.